Hi there, still working on drawing on the right side of the brain in the chapter on drawing a profile portrait. And Betty Edwards suggests that to illuminate the importance of edges, spaces, and relationships in portrait drawing, she suggests making a copy of a drawing and to do it as a line drawing and not a toned drawing. So in the book, she has an example of a portrait by John Singer Sargent. It's a portrait of Madame Pierre Gautreau. I think that's how it's said. I'm not sure. Which the artist drew in 1883. So again, I said this in my last drawing book, but Betty's tells how it used to be apprentices would always do copies of masterwork, and then it seemed that art schools got away from that in her experience, and now they're starting to get back into the importance of copying masterwork. And it makes sense to me. I mean, when I'm learning, if you see little kids, maybe they shouldn't look at the pros, but they do look to them for advice on how to do things properly. So the same with artists. And what we need for this exercise is drawing paper, our pencils and erasers, our plastic or glass picture plane, and an hour of uninterrupted time. I only spent about less than 20 minutes on this, and I've fast forwarded it a little bit, sped it up, I mean. Anyway, so the most important thing is getting all the units and coordinates correct. If something's off, the whole picture is going to be off. So I'm literally laying the picture plane right on the painting to make sure that it's not slanted against an angle, or especially that I'm not pulling it back and forth with my hand, because if I did that, it would completely change everything. And instead of a ruler, I'm using my pencil and my finger to do some measurements. And this area is so tight here between the nose, the mouth, and the chin. I've always had trouble with this area. And it'll take some practice. What she suggests, and I don't show it here, but at the end, when it comes to that area and some of these other tight areas, is looking at the negative spaces. Because that will get you out of the left side of your brain again. Instead of thinking I'm drawing a nose and some lips and a chin, you just start looking at the lines and where they actually are. And that's what's more important, not thinking about, oh, I'm drawing lips and the chin, and this is a funny chin, or her lips are pouty or something. That's what you want to stay away from. I would say my biggest struggle was right here, and even as I do this part of her face, it looks off to me. I don't think I've stretched it out as long as it should be. And so I just keep working on that a little bit more. I don't necessarily have her neck as elongated as it should be either. I can see that from here. When I have the video played back, I can see that. But this is my first time. I have to tell you, my feelings about this were not very pleasant. This was not fun for me. It literally was giving me I felt like I had a headache. And especially here, this part. Yeah, I just literally wanted to tear my paper and go eat some ice cream. But I stuck with it a little bit longer. Not much though. She's going to have not the perfect rendition. Yeah, what Betty suggests is, I won't read everything because it's her book, and she probably would like you to go get it. But and some people have just from watching these videos. So anyway, you will use your skills of seeing edges, spaces, and relationships in this drawing. And so she has about 4 big steps. I'll just say the first sentence of each of these. As always in starting a drawing, first draw a format. So we did that. And that includes the crosshairs on the paper. And then since the original is a line drawing, do not tone your paper. I mentioned that. Lights and shadows are not relevant. Okay, I said I'd read one. Okay, let's go. Number 3, lay your clear plastic picture plane directly on top. Okay, we already did this. Choose your basic unit. And she suggests the ear since it's kind of in the middle of the profile. I think, well, she didn't say that. She just, she said the ear or the nose or the eye level to chin is a starting shape. And then transfer it to the drawing. Okay, so then there are 8 points that she has you check, and she just questions. For example, tell the first 3. Where's the point where the forehead meets the hairline? And is that correct? The next one, where is the outermost curve of the tip of the nose? What are the angles, curves of the forehead? And then, like I mentioned, the negative shapes. If you're in a tricky spot, remember to use the negative space as well. So really, this is like dissecting the picture into a lot of parts. And I suggest not overthinking the whole thing. I think that's what was getting me so frustrating is I just kept struggling with my left side of my brain telling me this was ridiculous, it looks stupid, and to just give up. That's what I kept saying. It said that you're not cut out for this, go do something else. So I don't know if it's kind of like getting a second wind while you're running, if that just goes away with time. I think confidence definitely helps. Now, after this is just a warm-up, she says, and it's about relationships and just the lines again and the edges. So she wants you to compare the 2 drawings afterwards and check for any errors in your copy of Sargent's drawing. You can see them more easily upside down. That's a good point. I didn't do that. And make any necessary corrections. And now after this, the next thing will be the profile of a real live person. So next Thursday, that is the plan. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions or comments about this exercise, leave them below. I challenge you to do your own line portrait. You can probably find a masterwork, even this one, maybe even online, you can use for your own personal use for this exercise.